This has got to be one of my new favorite meals. It's yellowtail snapper stuffed with a crab cake. So let me show you how I made it. First things first, we've got to hop in the water and look for some crabs and fish. The spot that we were diving today was in around 70 feet of water, so I took a deep breath and then headed down to the bottom to see if I could find any fish for dinner tonight. Because by the time I get down to the bottom, I don't have long before I have to come back up for my next breath of air, I like to be pretty efficient. So you'll notice that off to the side of the screen, you'll see something flashing, and those are just pieces of plastic with reflective tape that mimic a school of fish. They're attached to a buoy up at the surface, and as they dangle down, they end up bringing in all the larger fish that check them out for an easy meal. On this first dive, I was pretty much just checking out this new area to see if I thought there was anything worthwhile. But unfortunately, the first dive wasn't showing anything that was worth taking the shot at, so I looked around a bit more and then decided to head back up to the surface to get another breath of air. However, the second dive down was a completely different story. As I started to approach the flashers, I noticed that off to the side of the screen, there was a pretty large yellowtail snapper that was coming in close to check out the flashers. So I used the one in my hand to try to flash it to get its attention, and then I just slowly started to make my approach until I could get the perfect shot. And just like that, we've got our fish secured for dinner tonight. While I put the snapper up in the cooler, my brother found these 3 large channel crabs, so now we have everything we need to make dinner tonight. These crabs are huge, and the yellowtail snapper that I speared is also one of the largest ones I think I've ever got. Back at the dock, I quickly filleted the snapper, and then we were ready to head into the kitchen to cook. For the crabs, I added them to a large pot with a little bit of water and then steamed them to par-cook the meat for about 10 to 12 minutes. After that was done, I cracked them open and removed the meat, and we're ready to make the crab cakes. First, in a separate large bowl, I just added in all of these ingredients. Next, I added in the crab meat and gave it a good mix. And after everything else was nice and combined, then I just folded in 1 cup of panko breadcrumbs. Then I packed them into measuring cups and portioned them out on plates that can go in the freezer so they hold up when we get to frying. While I wait for those to chill in the freezer, I'm going to cook the snapper. For this, I'm keeping it really simple, just butter, lemon juice, and a little bit of salt and pepper. Covered them on low heat so they can continue to cook while we finish our crab cakes. You can see that they hold together nicely, and I'm just going to fry these to a crispy golden brown. For the final touch, I just added the snapper fillets on top and placed them in the oven to broil so that it would all be nice and evenly heated. And just like that, a little while later, dinner is served. Fish just flakes apart, and the crab cake is nice and moist and just holds it all together, and it's so good. 10 out of 10 every single time. I'm gonna dig in and enjoy the rest of this, and until next time, get outside and see what you can find.